Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the program. In today's show of I just bought this car, but the brakes are no good, we have this Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Customer called me up and he was like, yo, I need my brakes done because I'm hearing some sounds on the passenger side. When I got here, I checked the rear brakes too, and they were pretty low and actually worse than the front. So he's provided some pads for the back. We're just going to throw some pads in the back. Rotors don't seem too bad, but we are going to smash these fronts with some new brake pads, rotors, clean everything, and check what the hell is going on. So let's get into it. So here's what we're looking at. Rotors are wearing a little bit unevenly, but so the pads aren't too bad. Although I did do the other side and they were wearing completely unevenly. Everything's stuck, nothing greased. This, that, the other. So let's fix that. So these Pajeros are really straightforward to do. So like they got the hub where you got to pull it apart, full drive setup. Essentially passenger car style. So a couple of bolts here, and the bolts are the actual slides. And then from there, you rip out the pads, rip out the brake caliper mounting bracket, and then you really get into everything. That needs grease. So pull the caliper towards you a bit. Well, that's not a good sign, but that's all good. Backing plate is delaminated. So these springs here, you want to put them back because they do open up the shoes to come off the actual brake rotor. This is super stuck. That's what it takes to get it out. So there is the uneven brake pad wear. So with all of that out, everything's extremely dirty in regards to like the rotor just having heaps of corrosion. But before we do that, look at this. Ugh. So before we continue, we need to compress this piston back into the brake caliper. There are many ways you can do this. C clamp, G clamp, whichever letter of the alphabet you prefer. Pry bars, this, that, the other. But this is the way I'm going to do it, and this is the way I always do it. This is my tool, Sasso Mobile Brake Services. I sell these. Check the link down below. It's from me, shipped by me in Australia. I personally drop it off. If you want one, hit the description. If you go to the website and you can't buy any, it's just because I'm out of stock. We are getting more stuff in. If you desperately want one, send me an email down below. The way it works, and it does work exceptionally well for these twin piston setups, to feel if you have any sticking problems. But as you can see, everything is nice and smooth, and you would feel it gets stuck on one side if it was stuck. Now remember, take the brake reservoir cap off when you do this, because the fluid will be pushed back up and need to be relieved. But as you can see, just talking doing this, it makes light work of it, and we're already done. So you just put it in reverse, and that's it. Pistons compressed. If you want one, hit the link down below in the description. Now we got to clean everything up. Just wire brush, some brake cleaner, wipe it down. Now you could hook this up out of the way, but we have a perfectly placed control arm here. Don't worry, I'm conscious it's there. I will not let it fall. From there, we got to remove this brake caliper mounting bracket. We got to clean all this up. So it's going to go from looking like this to this. So effectively, I've pulled these clips off, cleaned the brake caliper mounting bracket. This will allow the pads to actually slide back and forth, thus preventing uneven brake pad wear. Now we're going to get this rotor off. I've hit it with a mallet a couple of times, but it won't budge. Now you don't want to smash the shit out of it because you can damage the wheel bearing. So what we're going to do is, there's a couple of screw holes or bolt holes we're going to chuck these bolts into, and then the rotor will come off without damaging anything. Like so. So now you got to clean the face of this hub, because if you don't, there can be high spots, you can get run out, and the rotors will tend to shake and all this kind of stuff. So just do it the right way the first time. spread down some brake cleaner. Just clean all this crap off. Some anti-seize on it. You don't have to go crazy, just a light coating. Just prevents rust, build up, all this kind of stuff, and helps the rotor come off easier next time. So now we have a new rotor in our hands. You want to spray this down with some brake cleaner. Now you can probably see that these rotors are painted. The reason they're painted is because it's what's called a geomat finish, so they don't rust in storage. Also, they got some good anti-corrosion properties because in here is actually all painted too, so rust doesn't build up as much. Just be aware that when you put this style of rotor on, it's going to sound terrible on the first drive until you burn it off. But anyway, chuck a lug nut on. This just makes installing it way easier, and then because everything's all clean, we can just throw it all back together now. From there we have our new brake pads. Our new brake pads come with wear indicators. Do not forget to put this on. So we've got a wear indicator here. I tend to face the wear indicator down on the inside. Chuck a little bit of grease on the back here. This just prevents the actual brake caliper sticking to it. And by sticking to it, I mean sticking to the actual brake pad. Sometimes the pistons indent themselves into it. From there, chuck this one in, and you see how freely this moves now? That's good. Chuck these two pins back in. Make sure they are not touching the rotor. Now just clean up the actual caliper slide pins. Re-grease them properly. So what we're going to do now is push the brake pedal to make sure, because you see this is moving freely, which is good, but we want to push the brake pedal to make sure nothing's fouling. Also, it lets you know if the caliper is sticking, so if this doesn't move, we're no good. But of course it moves because I did it correctly. Still a little bit of play, which is good. All right, that's done. From there, quick pads in the back and we'll go for a spin. Told you they were low. Perfect timing. Now do you believe me? There's no upsells here, only honesty. The good thing about this setup is it's like totally weird, this setup. It's got like multiple pins. The slides are actually back here, which you need to pull out, disconnect, because you can't compress this forward. But the shoes or the handbrake is actually in the drum, so we don't have to do any of that crap. Alright, so you see before it wasn't doing anything, and now it's moving. That is critical. Anyway, let's throw these pads in. Alright, so that's all done. Let's go for a test drive. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cockpit, everyone's favorite word. Now, Mr. Customers record me. These geomat finished, as I mentioned, the rotors, when I hit the brakes, are going to sound horrible until we burn the actual paint off. So have a listen to this. Not so bad on this run, but you definitely have to burn them off. And luckily for us, we've got a nice big hill up here. What I'm going to do is take it for a spin, bed them in, get the customer to have a spin, make sure he's happy, because at the end of the day, as long as he's happy, I'm happy. So we'll just pick up a bit of speed. We'll do a good little brake test now because we don't want to get too far from where we were working if something's going to go wrong. So we'll slow down in 3, 2, 1. That's nice. He was getting a lot of sound from the passenger side, so didn't hear anything then. Obviously we're not finished the bedding in process, but it is one of those situations where I will really start on coming back down here. So I have to do a little U-bolt. 2, 1. ABS is definitely working. So from there, cruise around for a little bit, maybe about a minute, let everything cool off, clean themselves. They should start to stink soon. Now, this is kind of this Macca's run, slow crawl, school pickup type thing. We don't hear anything, it sounds sweet. Burnt paint off, that's good. Already a win. He's just commenting that the fact that there's no sound, he's very happy so far. We're looking for pedal feel, we're looking for performance in the brakes, but considering how low the other ones were and how unevenly worn the fronts were, it should feel realistically smooth as butter, quiet as a mouse type thing.
Yeah, it's also not grabbing as much as it was, like grab hard.
Yes, see that's what, if you have sticking, like a sticky brake system, it won't feel linear, like you can't slowly roll off it.
Brilliant.
But you already knew that. So what's going on is, with these twin piston setups, you really want to make sure that none of them are sticking. Now the reality is, with this brake ratcheting tool I use, when you push them both in at the same time, you get a real good feel of it. So example, if you got these Commodore PBR calipers, they're notorious for one of the pistons sticking. This will let you know that. But just going over, it's not complicated, but it's also extremely common for people to stuff up. So he's happy, and you guys know, as long as the customer's happy, I'm happy. Get a pre-purchase inspection before you buy a car, because we can check the brakes, we can check everything, suspension, blah blah blah, all the rest of it. So at the end of the day, although he won't have to think about this for quite a while, obviously just throwing pads on the back, I said, hey, just keep an ear out, but you shouldn't really have any issues, because the brakes on the front are so much bigger and they're doing so much more work. So anyway, back from the test drive, I'm going to end the video here. Mr. Customer, what do you reckon?
10 out of 10 would do again.
10 out of 10, but you already knew that. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, check out the other stuff. If you want to get in contact with me, hit up this Facebook page here. If you want to buy anything from the store, jump down below. And other than that, again, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Peace.